So baseball players don't struggle with confidence because they're objectively weak or because they don't have a strong mindset. Most baseball players struggle with their confidence because it's coming from a system that just isn't built to work with baseball, right? This system might be something where they're used to hearing confidence come from their parents telling them that they've done a good job, come from their coaches telling them that they've gotten better, come from teammates saying how great of a job that they're doing. And I'm sure that you've lived this cycle, right? Where you've had a really great week of practice. Maybe you've hit with your hitting coach. You've made a really good swing change. Your body feels great. Your swing feels great. And all these feelings of great are coming from, your hitting lessons, coming from the great week that you've had. Your body feels good. You get in the game and all of a sudden you have a really poor at bat. Maybe you roll over on a 2-0 count, or you pop up foul, or you take a strike three. It's a really bad call. And all of a sudden, after just one singular at bat, you've had a whole good week of performance. Now you have one bad at bat. Confidence is gone. You start spiraling, and that self-doubting voice kicks in. So if this is sounding like something that you've been through, just know that this whole spiral thing, this isn't random. This is happening for some reason. That reason is because you're building external confidence. Your confidence is not coming from internal, right? It's coming from those things that I already listed, from coaches telling you that you're doing well. It's coming from stats. It's coming from you playing well. It's not coming from evidence and from reasons that you actually would have confidence. So I learned this the hard way. Obviously, I got to college. I redshirted. I started my sophomore season 0 for 14 before COVID happened. And I had all of my confidence built up in these external things. And very quickly, those things were taken away. My playing time was taken away. I had no stats. I had no outcomes. And so I had to rebuild my confidence. That's how I know all of these things. And ultimately, I went from that player that was the redshirt to someone who was an all-conference player and ended up playing in 2 NCAA postseason tournaments. So what will this video go over? This video will be a complete breakdown on the comparison between external confidence and internal confidence, what the differences are. It will go over why external confidence will always collapse. It's never going to work for you guys. We'll go over how that is, how that's limiting your performance actually on the baseball field. We will go over what mindset shifts need to happen in order for you to go from building external confidence to building internal confidence. And then we'll actually give you a couple strategies to start building that internal confidence right this moment. Okay, so the first part of this video, what is external confidence? External confidence is anything that's making you feel good about yourself that is completely outside of your control. So in baseball, this would be like getting hits, what your stats are, your batting average, if your coach is playing you, putting you in the lineup, what your coach thinks about how your performance has been. Maybe these are teammate reactions. This could be, playing time, where your team's ranked, having the most perfect, most beautiful swing with the best mechanics. So when you're putting your confidence into these things, the formula looks like I am confident when things are going well. When things are going my way, I'm confident. And so it really makes this pattern where you're riding this roller coaster of ups and downs and ups and downs, because the sport is a lot of ups and downs. It's not always going to be going your way. You're going to have some stretches where you play bad. You're going to have some stretches where you play really, really freaking good, right? And so when you're riding this roller coaster, it makes fragility where it's not really going to be easy to keep up those really good results for a very long time that are going to make you feel very good. It's going to make a lot of emotional volatility. We're going up and down a lot. It's going to turn into a lot of overthinking where you're ruminating on maybe one bad game or one thing that coach said. And it's also making this identity that's tied to outcomes. So the outcome is going to control how you feel about yourself, how your day's going. Maybe you start to bleed into how you're feeling about yourself away from the field. And so you're constantly going to be asking yourself, did I play well today? What did coach see? What did my teammates think about this? And overall, it's just going to be very, very exhausting, and it's going to take a lot out of you, and you're not going to be showing up as your best self every single day at the baseball field. So what's internal confidence now? Internal confidence is the exact opposite. It's confidence that's based off of things that you have power over, things that you have control over. This is going to be how you go about your preparation. This is going to be how you think, how you respond to certain situations, if you choose to respond positively or negatively. Obviously, with internal confidence, we're going to be responding more positively. But these are things about, what you believe about yourself, and how this is things that you're tracking, maybe goals that you're tracking. This is where your confidence is going to come from, is from tracking those things and knowing that, okay, every single day I write this stuff down, I get better. Internal confidence is entirely based on evidence. It's based on these tangible things that you can go back and say, okay, I have confidence because, last Tuesday I took 30 reps of perfect swings. And maybe they're not even perfect. Maybe it's just I took 30 reps of really, really good swings and I got better on that day. And that's something that now tangibly you can go back to and think about in that high leverage moment and say, okay, I'm facing a lefty with a really good slider. Well, last Friday I hit lefty sliders and I absolutely dominated it. And now you feel good. And now it's not up to the umpire to make a bad call. It's not up to what your coach thinks. It's based on what you think about yourself internally. So when you do it this way, internal confidence, it's going to take you through those slumps where maybe you're not playing very well. It's going to get you through those bad calls, because you're gonna be like, okay, whatever. I don't care, because I know who I am and I know that I'm still in the fight, right? It's going to get you through those tough matchups, those high leverage moments. And maybe those games where, it's really tough weather and teams don't want to play, but you feel that level of confidence because you trust your preparation, you've put in the time, you've put in the belief, and now it's time to just go. Those external things don't matter as much, because the formula now is tied to who you are. It's tied to your values. It's tied to your identity. It's not tied to anything that someone else can take away from you. Okay, so why does this external confidence approach fail when it comes to baseball? Baseball is such a game of failure. It's such a game of probability, and I'm sure that everyone's heard that's watching this video, and you guys know this. You're going to line out. There's going to be really bad umpire calls. There's going to be balls that get knocked down by the wind. There's going to just be some nasty pitchers that just carve you up every now and then. And if you're a pitcher, there's going to be some hitters that just hit a really good pitch. And I'm not saying this to give you excuses for why things aren't going your way, but just sometimes that's just going to happen, right? There's going to be cold streaks. If you think that you're exempt from this because you're different or something, you're just wrong. These are things that are going to happen, and if your confidence is based on these outcomes, every single at-bat becomes a test if you're worthy. Every single pitch feels like a judgment by your teammates, by your coaches, by your parents, by yourself, on yourself. And if you ever fail, this is doing damage to who you are and how valuable you are as a baseball player and as a person. And when that's happening, that's going to make you very tight. It's going to make your heart race. It's going to make you overthink. It's going to cause all these things that get you in this mode to avoid making mistakes rather than playing to win. And that's a really, really big difference. If you're playing to avoid making mistakes than if you're playing to do your very best. And this is why people with external confidence look completely different on game day than in practice. Because if you're in practice, you're smoking the ball, there's no real consequence if you fail. It's just practice. And honestly, you should be trying to fail in practice, because that's how you're going to get better. But that's a story for another time. But these people with external confidence, they just crush in practice because there's nothing threatening them. Then when they get in the game and they are faced with these outcomes that could be negative, that's where you see them tense up. That's where you see them really start to overthink, and that's where you see the impact of having the external confidence and not the internal confidence. Okay, so you know now what external confidence is. You know why it's bad for you. How do we go from external confidence to internal confidence? All you need is one core mindset shift, and that's to stop evaluating yourself based on outcomes and start evaluating yourself based on your preparation, your focus, and your response to adversity. And the first thing is that you have to separate your identity from how you played. And so if you if you had a good game, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're a good player. Just like if you have one bad game, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're a bad player. But we have to get away from this idea that if I do well, I'm a good player, I'm a good person. If I do poorly, I'm a bad player, I'm a bad person. That's not true in just one singular vacuum. I would rather you guys look at this over a much longer time frame, over the course of a whole season, over the course of 5 seasons, and then you'll start to see, okay, I am doing the right things or I am doing the wrong things. But just looking at a singular game and deciding if you're a good player or not based on that one game, that's not really fair to yourself, and it's also just not true. The second thing you need to do is switch from results-based goals to process-based goals. So what does this look like? So instead of having a goal to get 1 hit per game, maybe I want to go 1 for 4 this game. You don't have control over that. You could hit 4 balls as hard as you possibly could, and you could have 4 lineouts and go 0 for 4, but you did everything right. So a better goal is, okay, I want to execute my plan, 3 at bats out of my next 4, and if you can do that, you can gain some success from that rather than basing your success entirely on these things that you don't have power over. Okay, so when you first make this shift, it's likely to feel pretty uncomfortable for you. But once you do switch, your performance is going to free up massively, and you're just going to see your performance greatly increase. Okay, so how do you actually build internal confidence? My number 1 recommendation is starting a confidence log. So go buy a notebook, start a confidence journal. So every day after practice, you're going to write out, between 1, 3, 5, 10 things. It just depends on how well that day went for you. Write out very specific, singular reps that you did well in a certain drill. Maybe it's in a certain scrimmage, in a certain practice environment. Just write those things down. So maybe that's hitting a couple of balls well in the machine off of the machine in the cage. Maybe it's taking a couple of really good ground ball reps. Maybe it's running really hard to first base. Maybe it's hitting your spots in a bullpen. Whatever those things may be, write those things down so that when you get to a big game, when you get to some time when you need confidence, you can flip back through and you're going to have dozens, if not hundreds of pages and exact examples of all the times when your training has gone the perfect way. The number 2 thing I would really, really recommend is make your own scorecard. Make something that's different than the scoreboard, different than the box score, different than what the stats are going to say. So if it's really important for you that you just win pitches, write out, I want to win 12 out of my 16 pitches today. And then track that. After every single at bat, go into your notebook, write down how many pitches you actually won, how many pitches you lost, why you lost those pitches. Another huge thing. After every game, take 3 minutes. Guys, all of these things, they don't take long. Take 3 minutes, write out in your notebook what went well during that game, what went poorly, and what you're going to do to make sure that the poor stuff turns into good stuff the next game. So what went well? I got a couple hits. I hit the ball hard. I made a couple plays. What went poorly? One of my bats, I was late on a 2-0 fastball. What am I going to do to make sure that poor action gets better? Next time I'm in a 2-0 count, I'm going to tell myself I need to be earlier. Or maybe this is prep off of the cage. Whatever that may be. It takes 3 to 5 minutes to be great. It's really, really not difficult. Okay, so a couple things in conclusion now that we've made it to the end of the video. If your confidence breaks down after one singular moment, whether that's an error, a bad bat, you do not have a confidence problem, you have a source problem. Where your confidence is sourced from is the issue. You're sourcing it from external factors, not internal factors. If you have external confidence, this will always crumble because of where you're getting the information from. Internal confidence, the kind that's built through identity, through purpose, through preparation, that's the only kind of confidence that's ever going to uphold and withstand those big pressure moments and those mistakes that are inevitably bound to happen. So start your process today of building real confidence. Start that confidence log. Start having some reflection post-game. Start tracking certain processes that you want to track. All those things will really, really build over time to build strong internal confidence. These are some of the exact systems that I use to teach my clients, and it really helps change everything. I've seen I've seen guys just do these few things and it completely transforms their confidence and their self-talk and makes them play so much freer. So if you like this video, please make sure to share it, watch it over again if you need to, like it, do whatever you need to make sure that you come back to this. I will be sharing tons of tips, tons of different experiences, all sorts of stuff on this channel. It's going to be widely valuable. It's going to be so good for you guys. So just make sure that you're here, make sure that you're watching, and most importantly, make sure that you're implementing these tools to start playing better today.